That track where I'm going to move to is over there by OBS, south of there just a little bit on 200.
What's that?
The track that I'm going to move to,
Okay. Near the airport?
yeah, south of the airport, about 3 or 4 miles. I guess Mark Cass has got a place. It's Ocala Training Center, or it's like one of those gated communities.
Okay.
They got polo and jumping people in there, but they've got a track over there. Hours are 6 to 1, he thought, so we got flexibility in there if we need to go earlier or later.
Good. Alright, I'm tracking my ride today.
Oh, you didn't try? I was going to ask you if you tracked it yesterday and then did how far we did go. We'll know today.
Remember Jen Hall?
Yeah.
She turned out to be a train wreck.
Well, I think that was pretty well known for a while.
She's done a lot of stuff with Tony Robbins, and she thinks she is Tony Robbins. And she asked me to come down and see what she was doing. And she's trying to do like a subscription like the Savvy Club, but she's like scamming people, and she tried to get $5,000 out of my friend to come to a women's retreat. She lied to her and told her that there was only one spot left, and she didn't have anybody lined up. It was such a wreck. Women came for a Tony Robbins 3-day thing, virtual. She paid $1,500 for, I forget what she paid for it, but then and as many people could come and share the link. And she got drunk and they showed up and she was screaming at them and they all packed up and left. Like, okay, I'm gonna...
Yeah, I haven't had really too many close dealings with her, but I know I've heard a lot of stories. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
sounds like a good description, train wreck. Hey.
She told me about 4 or 5 different reasons why she lost her Pirelli license.
Yeah.
But knowing her as I know now, I'm not surprised. Look at the little baby cow trying to get some water.
They were funny. I was throwing the ball past the dog, or the ball would go past them. So he'd run past them, and they'd spook, and then all of a sudden, when the dog was going back away, they were like, "We chased him away! Look at that!" And they'd run to the fence. They were all proud of themselves, and then he'd come again. And they'd take off running. As soon as we turn around, they'd go storming back after him.
Pretty white horse.
She had a really, really nice white horse that just ripped a couple. Oh, what was that? A rock? You never seen a rock before? Stuck her foot through one of these gates that you're not supposed to be able to. Supposed to be horse safe. I guess the welds were weak or whatever, but they had to put her down. She was amazingly beautiful, way better than her, and that girl was pretty good.
I had to put my Harlem Rosa down over the time. He got a cancerous mass in his foot,
Yeah.
and they took it out, but he ended up developing laminitis. It was awful. It was the worst days of my life.
Looks like the tractor we got at home. Everybody licking and chewing. Oh, we're still pretty alert. Everything looks different out of this eye, huh?
Yeah, it does. I got a mare a few years back. She was by Cosmonaut. She was a great filly, and she lost her eye at the track. She came in right around Halloween, and she had her staples all across her eye. She was such a bitch, and I was like, what in the heck am I going to do with this filly? And I posted her on the Thoroughbred Adoption Network, and a lady contacted me. She's like, oh, I had a horse named Serena once, and I had a one-eyed thoroughbred, and I feel like I need to come and meet her. And she came and fell in love with her and adopted her and has given her a great home. Then I get another one-eyed horse this past summer. And same lady, Wendy, she came for the Pirelli clinic with Ellie, and she adopted the other one-eyed mare. And they're opposite sides, so together they have a complete set of eyeballs.
Did I ask you if you know Wendy Wood?
You did.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe she's there. That barn setup is really nice.
Yeah.
The sheds that come up underneath there are really nice.
Yeah, I like that idea. I'm waiting for the next generation of the heads-up display. They've got glasses that basically put your computer or your phone screen, so if you're tracking like you're doing, you can, it'll put the distance traveled and the speed and all that right on the inside of your glasses that you can read.
Wow.
So heart rate, all that stuff can go on there, so you can actively, without having to look down and
Right.
all the other stuff.
That's wild.
That'll be the next thing. Almost like fighter pilots have all that information right there in the screen.
Yeah.
It's all good information. Is what you're doing. What we're trying to do is decipher how they feel and what their state of mind is, and that can all be adjusted or put to numbers with the heart rate and all the other factors they can measure, biomarkers they can measure. Couple donkeys over there, and it's got them wound up all yesterday. They heard it and they just kept looking at them like, what kind of crazy animal is that? Boop, 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 boop. Onion! Watch out, Onion! He's a cool little horse. So we was riding him on the beach in New England, and we were going through one of those little it was like an inlet shaped. It was almost like it was cut off from the water just because of the tide, while the tide comes in and out. And we were just walking through it. It was probably just a little over knee high, and we're talking, everybody's walking through. There's like 6 or 8 of us, and I'm talking to somebody explaining something. And just, you've ever had a horse lay down on you, usually they kind of wiggle around first before it did. He just whoop, straight. Like, it was what was it, late September,
Chilly.
early October. Yeah. The only pair of boots I had to run back. I was right in that was the first part of my lesson day. Run back to the house, bought some baby powder, and got the hair dryer going. Packed baby powder in, and dumped it out, and packed some more in. Finally got it dry enough to get back to work. Sonny, we're halfway back to the parking after all that had happened, and the lady looks over. She goes, "Well, have your feet dry yet?" Like, that's one of the dumbest questions I think anybody's ever said. How would they dry out? There's water in my boots. There's no way to get them out of my boots without taking them off.
Yeah, I've
And
had
what
days-
point would that be to take them off?
Right? I've had days like that at the track. It rains so hard your boots just
Yeah.
filled up with water.
Don't worry about her. She's not going to jump any fences. She don't want to jump that fence. Onion, don't let that crazy chick turn you, get you all wound up. Hi, Fitzy. I got on him yesterday, first
Yeah.
time. Put a saddle on him today, see how that goes. He's pretty left brain.
Yeah.
I wish I had a round pen though. Dang.
Yeah, round pen is such an important tool.
Yeah.
But
The most. Hey, you're gonna get your belly tickled.
did you meet Tabitha, the farm manager at Long Shadows, when you were there? She came from California when Julie Crone brought her horses out to New York. Mike and Tabitha drove cross country with her, drove the second trailer, and Julie left her horses at Long Shadows, and they went back, and Julie stayed for a week and drove me crazy. And then Mike and Tabitha ended up coming, long story short, they were supposed to come for some other jobs in New York, and that disappeared. And they had gotten married and gave up their jobs and gave up their place to live and were ready to go to New York, and the job disappeared. So then the house opened up at Long Shadow, so they moved there. So Tabitha's the farm manager there. Mike was there for a couple years. They got married, but he's a bad alcoholic. He does too much drugs, and he never could get his shit together. So he ended up leaving. And Tabitha's with some other guy. But Tabitha's an amazing horsewoman. She's really good. She kind of shadowed Julie over the years. Did some clinics with Dave and Jody Ellis.
Yeah.
And Margit, is that her name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dearman. We were in one of those deals, and she goes, something about she says, you're like one of the highest level of all of us. I says, I've only been in the program like 5 years. She goes, well, you've been around horses. You're just naturally natural. She didn't realize I hadn't fully I was immersed. I'd read about it a bunch, but I hadn't owned my own horse until they gave me that horse. Disturbing the Peace was the first horse I ever owned after he was done running. Now he's at the retirement thing, Kentucky, Lexington. What's that?
The horse park?
Not the horse park. The Best Old Friends.
Yeah. Michael Blowen.
Yeah. They've got a deal in Arkansas now. I've never heard of it before, but it's apparently after you've been off 60 to 90 days or so, you can run back in a claiming race and they can't claim you. So if you've taken the time to give the horse some time off,
right.
and bring him back, somebody's not just going to take advantage of that right off.
That's a great idea.
I don't know all the exact rules, but it saves me because I'm not going to run any horses in claiming races.
Yeah.
Way too attached to them. They're too useful. Time I've put all the foundation on them as something else. If they can't run, they can be a training partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can go 3/8, and somebody else can go 3/8 with them until they've got enough horses to go everywhere. Ready to trot?
Yep.
Okay, I think this one is too. Hey, you're not gonna boss Sonny around. He's tougher than you. Horses are the only animals around you that can fart. You got to consider it a compliment. That's a good sign.
We had the junior jockey camp at Long Shadows. Frankie Lovato came and Julie.
Yeah.
And we had a bunch of girls riding. And then we had them all in the indoor arena, all in racing track. You know, we brought them in the barn and tied them to the wall and put polos on them. And the horses are like, And we get into the indoor and they're like, oh, you're just kidding. But we've never been so happy to hear so much smooching and clucking that way.
Why's your head so high? Your head should not be so high.
I have a little girl that hobby is her name. She came summer. She turned 12. She came to volunteer for me, and I was like, yeah, whatever. She turned out to be the best kid. By the end of the summer, she could ride all the horses, and she was taking people out on our adoption day to keep them company. Good kid, except for she turning into a teenager now.
Yeah, hormones.
Yeah, exactly.
They happen to all of us.
Yep.
Dirty, dirty trick.
Yep.
How much money, time, and energy I wasted chasing.
The brain just disappeared.
Oh man, just can't even think. I look back at those days and go, what were you? Well, I wouldn't give to be 18 and know what I know now.
Right, right.
Oh, jeez. All that energy wasted. Ah.
Come on.
Yeah, just put a little more leg on him so that he feels that more than the dig right in until he yields that rib. There you go. Scary stuff. Hey, hey, are you paying attention? Not very well. Obviously, not very well. Yeah, when I first got to Churchill and watched Monty riding around and got to know her, you know, I ponied for her.
Yeah.
Like, how did you teach him to do it? Well, she said, you just got to have the right kind of horse. That's all she would ever say. I'm like, damn it. I want to do that so bad. But now I know how to do it. Oh, there's some breathing going on. That sounds good.
Given our babies a couple days off. I think it was over Christmas out in California. I was learning how to gallop, and they came out super fresh. And I was on this filly, and she's sky leaping through the air, and then she stumbles, and then she sky leaps, and then she stumbles.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
Randy's there. He says, "Grab some mane, Mommy." I'm like, mane, Randy." Complain to him because he kept taking me off all my colts and put me on fillies, and I wanted to ride the colts. And he said, "Yeah, but you're so good with them."
You're okay.
A troublemaker. Like, yeah, but you're so good with them, so I learned to go along with them. And ended up riding quite a few great ones.
There's just some things you have to learn to ignore. If you're paying attention to me, you can't pay attention to anything else. That's something I don't think they teach well enough at Pirelli, is how important attention is before you start asking them questions.
Yeah. Yeah, just get that one-on-one where they're tuned into you. That's what I was trying to teach this lady that had that arch horse, to get him into the round pen and get a connection with him before you know, she's got one of those sticks with the flag on the end of it. She's face horning him constantly.
Yeah.
He's just coming back at her on his hind legs. I taught her how to be soft.
Hey.
I went to help them It takes me 2 minutes to put the horse in the trailer and drive an hour and a half home to pay me. But they're like, oh, you don't hit him with the stick? I'm like, keep off.
Well, if he doesn't respond when I show him the stick and wiggle the stick and shake the stick, yeah, then I'm going to touch him with it.
I took one horse to the vet in New Jersey. She's like one of the best surgeons in the country. And they bring my horse out with a lip chain. They haven't seen a chain since they left the track. So she comes out and I was like, let's take the lip chain off. And the surgeon is there, the tech is there, the tech brought the horse out. And I was like, hold on a second. I grabbed my rope halter, I slid the leather halter off, the nylon halter off, and I put rope halter on. And I handed her the carrot stick to the vet. And I said, okay, when he moves forward, she goes, hit him. I said, no. No. When he's doing that, leave him alone. It's like a facepalm moment, you know?
Yeah. We took Sailing Smart over to that OBS, not the OBS, but that vet clinic thing down there by, not far from Pirelli's. And brought him in with a rope halter, and they're standing there with a chain and a leather halter, and we said, no, we won't need that. They go, what? We've never ever. And then they couldn't believe how polite he was. He just does these little knickers and jumps up on the dummy and does his thing, and away he goes. They're just like dumbfounded. How is that possible? Stallions aren't supposed to act like that.
My chain shank pulls my pack hooks from the rafters.
Oh yeah. That's okay. There you go. Raft out, raft out. There you go. Fine. Watch your step.
Stick your feet up, mister. Surprise.
Trotting machines here. That horse was coming after us. There we go. Hey, careful now. Careful now. Oh, you're being crazy. Ah. These laneways would be so good for babies that you start riding them, having that enclosed. You don't have to fuss with their face so much.
Yeah. It's that Claire Court. You've ever got to Saratoga?
Yeah.
That Claire Court track is narrow and you can only go one way. And if you ever had horses like getting in or getting out, just let them go wherever they want to go. You want to gallop on the outside fence? Go for it.
He's not gonna get you. You wouldn't do that. Good boy, Sonny. I get brave and I get faster. Good girl. What a champion. What a champion. Not racing, they're just a galloping. You could put your head down a little bit, it'd be better for you. Don't you know? What a champion. She's so pretty. So pretty. Oh, good girl. Oh, I had to organize my feet to make that turn. What a girl. She's a champion.
31 minutes.
How many miles? That was good.
5.7 miles per hour in 31 minutes.
Two miles an hour is walking pace.
Yeah, I guess it averages it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it gives you the top speed or the average.
The app I used to have to give you all of them. Like I said, he had the 3 different colors.
Yeah, I have that here.
And then you could even shift the colors to be between certain mile an hour parameters. Make it your own dynamic.
We had 65 transitions.
Good. Lots of transitions. Good. I can't see with the sun.
Is there a guy named Gary at Mandela's place?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. That older guy.
Gary Opsel?
I think I remember that guy.
Or
Yeah,
Paul?
there's
From
no,
Thailand, they call.
no, I didn't meet him.
Big Kyle. Too old to gal.
That gal that was from New Mexico, that little dark-headed gal, she was there. That old lady was still his assistant.
Crystal?
I'm thinking that's right. It's been a while since I've been there. What's that pig doing at your gate? What's that pig doing? Rappy said, you better get out of here. I'm going to hurt you.
Good boy.
Silly pigs. Yeah, silly pigs. He's dying to hurt him. Get out of here, pig. What a good girl. She's so special. She's a special girl. Raph, leave him alone. Raph.
Still haven't named my kid.
Still haven't what?
I still haven't named my kid. I need to name
The boy? So you can name him Suey. If it was a girl. Sue.
That was funny.
You call him Suey. Suey.
A boy named Sue.
Come on with me. Come on with me. Okay, pig. Raph. I told you no. Come on. Come on. Here, let's go for a roll. Let's go for a roll. Raph. Leave them pigs alone. You get in trouble. Oh, what a good girl. Here's a cookie for you. And one cookie for you too. Okay, you can have a cookie today. Oh, you're a champion. She gets a bath and a shave sooner or later.
Yeah, I got my clippers too.
Yes. Or I'll help you, or you can instruct me how to use your clippers.
We can do it together. I got more than one pair.
Cool. First I was thinking trace clip, but I don't even think that's worth it. I think it has to be full.
That's what I did. It's just my guys.
Because the cold's gone. The
Yeah.
60s, 50s are going to be the lows from now on. They can handle that with no
My
hair.
guys have New York winter coats on them.
Yeah.
So I had to clip them when I got down there. They scary, but